Friday, May 30th, 1980. A Mad Magazine-style poster adorns the VHS in your hands. You can't help but think, if there aren't at least half a dozen fart jokes in this movie, I'm gonna be pissed. There's a wolf-faced man chasing a woman chasing a man, a handsy octopus, a police car sinking in a house pool, toilet paper flies over the top of the school, countless other naughty naughties happening in the pool. A couple stands triumphantly atop the sinking police car. You just know you're in for chaos. Beverly Hills and the civilized world will never forget them. These are your Hollywood Nights. Welcome to B-Side Video Rentals. I'm Jeremy Briggs.
And I'm Jenny Wenger.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, how are you doing?
Look, I'm good. I got my Cthulhu Tiki glass in today with all sorts of goodies.
It looks like you're cursed.
Believe me, I have been. I'm married.
Oh, my God. To a lovely woman. I like that men say that when, like, your wife is very wonderful and my husband's wonderful, but when I'm out...
According to who?
Yeah, when I'm out with other people, we're all just, like, husband bashing. I'm like, yeah, he likes me and he does a lot for me. What a jerk.
I hate him.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody says, how long you been together? Oh, I've been married coming up on 19 years, so we're almost done.
Oh my
I've been saying that since like year 3. 3 years, we made it. We're almost done.
You made it. You're done. Well, we're talking about the sanctity of marriage, and that is the last thing that this movie is about.
The last thing.
It was a deep, dark look at how bored people were for this time period.
We'll discuss, but first I think we need to get to the news. What do you think? Oh, right. And apologies for not sending to you these last night. Just cold read Jenny. Here we go. Friday, May 30th. And these are your not-so-current events. 1980. Friday, May 30th, 1980. I screwed that up. I didn't write it properly in my thing. A Soviet-Hungarian astronaut team docked its space capsule with the Soviet Union's orbiting Salyut 6 station at 3:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. One of the astronauts was scheduled to be in therapy at 4, but he completely spaced it. Space! Jenny! Get out of here!
I love that joke. The Department of Energy has responded to recent charges from a solar energy advocacy group saying, contrary to the group's recent memo, there's been no backing off of the Carter administration's commitment to solar, including but not limited to solar bears, solar ice caps, bisolar disorder, and the commitment is strong, you guys.
It's strong. I gave you all the jokes I hated, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to butcher them no matter what. The Consolidated Rail Corporation said yesterday that it was laying off 1,750 employees indefinitely because declining industrial production had reduced. A former employee claims that rail workers were railed by the Rail Corporation.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? The summer box office has kicked off strong after a dismal spring with Stanley Kubrick's The Shining and George Lucas's sequel to the Star Wars film Empire Strikes Back, but sadly overshadows independent gems like Bobby Squirt's Diarrhea Madness. Overlooked film.
It was a good year. I mean, if he would have just came through the next year.
Yeah, you should have gone 3 weeks later, buddy.
Oh my God.
Levi Strauss Company, the apparel industry's largest producer, said that it will phase out its Himalaya division after the fall merchandise shipment is completed. It's more like Hima don't want to lay a division. Am I right, guys?
Oh my God.
I don't want to
Oh
lay
my God. I hate you. The Carter administration has agreed to set up 2 joint panels on economic policy, one to draw up short-range anti-recession plans and another for the reindustrialization of America. If you ask me, 2 joints are definitely not enough for an entire panel.
Not even close.
President Carter prevailed over Senator Edward M. Kennedy yesterday in the Arkansas and Kentucky presidential primaries in a landslide. When President Carter heard about the landslide, he got sad and built 15 houses. He's a good man.
That guy loves building houses. He loves it. A new weather satellite was launched from California today, but rocket failure sent the $15 million payload into the wrong orbit, and it may now be useless. Officially naming the satellite my mother-in-law. She's useless.
Oh my God.
Gotta love a good mother-in-law joke.
I just don't want to support you in that. I have a nice mother-in-law.
Which is why I didn't give you the joke, Jenny.
Thank you.
The Orion Capital Corporation said yesterday that its directors had rejected a merger proposal from Loeb Rhodes, the investment banking house, as grossly inadequate, which my wife always told me was a compliment.
Oh my God, the Court of Appeals today removed a state Supreme Court justice from the bench in Buffalo, stating that he demonstrated his unfitness for judicial office by engaging in rampant nepotism, both open and disguised. In his defense, he swore he was wearing the Groucho Marx glasses for fashion.
There's no disguise happening.
Look.
My nepotism's not disguised.
The American Iron and Steel Institute reported yesterday that steel imports last month rose 11.6% over the March level, which is too bad because I think stealing is wrong. It's one of my core values.
Yeah, stealing is wrong. We really need to rethink that as a country. Pork belly fell to the new contract lows yesterday in the nearby delivery months because of an oversupply of frozen bellies that compete with abundant fresh supply. Maybe it's just me, but I don't like to pork belly. I'd rather pork butt. Am I right, Jenny? Jenny, am I right?
At least on special occasions.
The FCC voted today to drop the special class of clear channel radio stations, making way for up to 125 new AM stations. So get ready for the exciting action of fly fishing radio. Grab your rod and cast your fly line because you're about to get hooked on the butt section of a Bimini twist. All fly fishing all the time on Trap Bomb AM radio.
God, I miss those days. Britain is following the lead of members of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and adding $2 a barrel to the price of its oil, or as it's called in England, taking it to the pound town. These jokes are really, really shilling it today, huh?
They're shilling it.
Shilling it.
Really shilling it.
Ted Kivett, formerly with the American Ballet Theater and a principal dancer with the Pennsylvania Ballet, will become artistic director of the Milwaukee Ballet, effective with the company's fall season. But he has received criticism lately for telling one of his dancers to get dressed in a leotard by using the phrase, "Get your tart on."
Get your tart on! Cancel! Then that was your not so current events.
Because I'm autistic, am I technically allowed to tell that joke?
I think you just made it worse, actually.
Oh.
Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
I'm checking my feet here. Yep.
Yeah. They're coming for you. I thought I was just getting canceled. No, you're going straight to the loony bin.
The loony bin? I'll take you to the loony bin. I have mentioned Strange Brew, the film, with Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, multiple times this week.
You have.
Because of that loony bin. Because of that line in the film. Loony bin keeps coming up in my life. I wonder why.
You know, it was such a thing. I thought I was going to have to really behave more in this world because of how much they talked about people getting taken to the loony bin. It was like a threat in my life.
So, the film that we watched was Hollywood Nights with a K-N-I-G-H-T.
It did not disappoint with as perverted as I would guess for it to be.
Yeah. I would like to start off with giving you a few reviews of the film. It, first of all, sits at about 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, critically. 71, however, with the audience. So, well, I don't know. David Nusier of Real Films Review said, a distressingly lackluster bit of nostalgia-based filmmaking. Michael Blowen of the Boston Globe said the film derives more than American Graffiti than more American Graffiti did, but it's an unfocused copy of one original moment, or without one original moment. Gary Arnold of the Washington Post said, far from showing continued promise, Mutrux, the director, has now identified himself as a kind of untutored remedial school imitator of George Lucas. And my favorite review is from Leonard Maltin, and he's called it a punk answer to American Graffiti. Sophomore humor to spare, 1.5 stars. But at least I think he understood the film. I don't think the other guys understood it.
No.
Because it is a punk American Graffiti.
Yeah.
And I will say right now, I freaking loved it.
I had a really good time watching it, other than the fact of my husband watching it with me going, I know him. He was in this and he was in this. His filmmaking is like his special interest. So
right. Not only his special interest, maybe a career?
And maybe it's his career.
This has quite the ensemble of some people that are like made it big and some people who have been character actors for 40 years.
Yeah. My fave was when I saw Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm just going to be honest here.
Girl.
She was so
I had a
angelic.
cat named Pfeiffer. I mean...
It was like, I wanted to look at her and be like, you're the future Catwoman.
Which is why I named my cat Pfeiffer. God, I'm a dork.
I love
blame
it.
My wife.
It's great. Yeah, why not? Why not?
So the director is Floyd Mutrux, and he only directed a total of 5 films. It took him 14 years after this film to make his next picture.
Because they didn't get it.
Because they didn't
get what he was going for.
And 4 of his 5 films were all films in kind of this world. They were all 1950s, early 60s, rock and roll, hot rod type movies. So was he a George Lucas ripoff? Maybe, but at least he committed to it for 4 films.
Yeah, and I love the opening, the DJ saying, a friend with weed is a friend indeed. I was like, if that's what we're starting with.
I mean, it just introduced, like, right up top, a friend with weed is a friend indeed. I know what I'm in for. I got it.
Yeah. If you're conservative, it's time to turn it off.
It's because that's like what pretty much all of the negative reviews that anyone has to say, it's because you don't like a raunchy comedy. And that's fine.
Yeah, there are plenty for you.
That's fine. So you're right. Turn it off.
Yep. And then we meet Fran Drescher, whose voice wasn't the same.
It was the same-ish.
When she got emotional. But when she first started talking, I was like...
That front... No, I don't know. That right up top when they're in the pool and all those ladies are topless sunbathing.
Yeah, naked sunbathing
she's
time.
the only one talking immediately before they even showed her. I'm like, this is Fran. This is Franny.
But let me tell you, I think that scene was filmed before the other scenes because she got more comfortable and you could hear her more as she went. Because what I say is like when I first started acting, anything of me in the early days, I'm talking with a fake sexy voice that I think people like.
Right, which always makes whenever I hear you do that, I'm like, Jenny, what are you doing?
I know. I know.
Trust me. And you know what? You know what? My experience with men around you?
It's the thing that they like. I don't know why. I don't know why it works better. But like, if I come in like me, they're like, "Ooh, she's different. What happened?"
I don't like this.
Go back to this lady.
Yeah, give me cleavage or give me death. Really is all I'm asking for.
Yeah, so I was glad, but I was also like, you know, I'm a pervert, so I was sad that she was the one that didn't have her boobs out.
Fran?
Yeah.
And you're like, this is the beginning. Okay, so we've still got time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the beginning, you're like, we've still got time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Franny's going to get him out.
She didn't.
She didn't.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
But the ones that were out were very, very good, though. Got a good payoff there. And then there's a pervert in the bushes taking pictures of them, which is very on brand for the time.
I think very on brand. But I think like before we get in kind of the scene breakdown, I think we should give like an overall, because the way this film was, it was sporadic.
Yes.
It is like fast paced.
Yeah.
Cruising, scene after scene. It's just jumping all over the place. Basically, the premise of the film is a high school automotive club, which you don't really learn that until the end of the film.
Yeah.
They hang out at Tubby's Drive-In, which is like one of those car hops food joints. And it's in Beverly Hills. It's Halloween night. It's the last night that Tubby's will be open. They're closing the doors forever. And the stuffy residents of Beverly Hills think that by getting rid of the car hop, they will rid the town of this automotive club gang and whatever you want to call them. It's and they are called the Hollywood Knights. And then the Hollywood Knights want to make it a night to remember. They're going to go out with a bang. And
it's Halloween and nobody's wearing a costume.
Well, they had like one small scene where it was like, it's Halloween. And they put a mask on. And that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? Who needs a costume when you can come in your birthday suit?
Yeah. What other suit do you come in?
So who's the pervert that's the pervert taking pictures of them, sneaks into, because this is like someone's backyard, right? The pool where there's they're bathing naked. That is Newbomb Turk, who is played by Robert Wool, who is we know him from Batman. He was in Good Morning Vietnam, The Bodyguard, Bull Durham, Flashdance, but most importantly, the creator and star of HBO's Arliss.
And the crowd goes wild.
He's the lead prankster that the majority, not all of the knights follow him, but the majority of the knights are, this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy, and he's hilarious. He's the funny prankster guy.
This guy's 50. Why is he part of this?
All of the high schoolers are between 28 and 31.
Yeah.
Which is normal for 1980. It's very normal.
But he particularly looked older than everyone else.
Oh, I don't think he looked older than Jimmy, but I want to talk about Jimmy later because he doesn't really become part of the plot until a bit later.
Yeah, and then he has a big storyline. Yeah.
That comes out of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
A real this is sad.
No, I don't like this part.
We are off to meet the cast of characters, and I think the first one we meet is Officer Bimbo.
Yes.
Played by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Gellard Sartan, who every time I see this guy, all I can think of is the Ernest movies.
Yes.
Because he's in Ernest Goes to Camp, goes to jail, and saves Christmas. And it's fantastic in those
God,
films.
I love those films. Like that, like when people ask me, like, what did I wear out on the VHS? All of the Ernest, especially Ernest Goes to Jail, though.
I mean, those three I think are fantastic. And then I would say Ernest Scared Stupid as well. Like those I think are the top 4 for me.
But with these cops, they kind of are very lenient with the horrible stuff and no tolerance for stupid stuff.
No tolerance for like something that could kind of it's not an issue. It's like it's not their fault. Like something happens and they're just there going like, oh hell yeah, you guys are in trouble. And it's like, but we didn't, this is the one thing we didn't do.
Yeah. They try to kill you and you're like, oh, we'll get you later.
But he's got his chief or whatever on his butt. You don't let the Knights get away with anything.
Yeah.
And of course, like the Ernest films, Officer Bimbo has his scrawny sidekick. Because you got to have the big one and the small one.
Yeah, you just have to.
You have to.
We didn't invent these rules.
No.
It's science.
Look at Shakespeare. It's in there.
Okay.
Then I believe we moved to Jacqueline, the teacher, and she's hosting a party, right?
I like her.
I knew you would.
She's horrible and I love her. I was like, oh, she looks pretty in that color. And she's sitting there like a demon.
And so she's basically telling all the people of Beverly Hills who hate the Hollywood Knights, well, Tubby's is we've officially closed Tubby's. And we're going to build, I don't know what it was, a hotel or something.
It's an office building.
It's a real fancy office building.
Oh, yes.
My husband couldn't be here tonight because he's off doing some government thing. He'll be speaking later tonight. And then the doorbell rings. And Nevins, the guy who's just like a doofus at the piano, just like looking like an old guy, joins her to go answer the door. And she immediately starts rubbing his wiener.
Yes.
She's like, but like flat palm, rubbing the wiener, and then he like starts flat palming her boobs.
Yeah.
Like flat palming it, like
They weren't comfortable with each other yet, but they will get that way.
Old horny's happening. Old horny strikes again.
Their relationship is just so weird.
And they open the door, and Jenny, what's at the door?
This was like a myth that growing up that this happened all the time. That someone would ring your doorbell and there was a pile of dog shit in a bag.
On fire.
And you try to stomp it out. And it's like, that never happened in my neighborhood. Did that happen in yours? But it was in every TV show, every movie. They talked about it on the radio. Like, I thought there was going to be a lot more of that in my life.
Which just really goes to show that, like, we just don't have enough initiative in our lives. Like, we don't take charge. We're not go-getters. Us elder millennials are not go-getters.
No, I mean, surprise, surprise. I married well, or else I would be on the street.
Nah, man, I didn't marry well at all.
So, yeah, you idiot. So he starts stomping it immediately, which is the last thing you should do.
What you should do, Jenny.
No. I don't want to get dog shit all over me. Hot, runny dog shit on fire.
Pussy.
Do you do this sometimes just for fun?
I like dog crap on my front porch for myself. So he stomps it out, and there's a car that obviously was the one that lit it on fire, and that is the first of many butts in this film.
Yes.
Our first mooning of the picture.
I have this written here, and I don't have anything else with it. But it says, I gotta take a squirt. Right after the shit thing, somebody says they have to take a squirt, and that's how they tell you they have to pee.
That wasn't your inner monologue?
No, they literally said it, and I was like, oh, I know, I'm writing that down. This writer is genius. And I was like, that's like the grossest way to say you have to pee ever. I got to take a squirt.
Then we head off immediately. And again, this is like rapid fire. These scenes are, it's like one joke after another.
Yeah, like they're in Watts for some reason, right? They drop off the pledges in Watts and they take their clothes off.
Yeah. You know, what you do to a pledge. And they give them all a tire and say, you have to carry this tire the rest of the night, butt naked.
Yeah.
And you have to make a request to our DJ who is playing all our rockin' tunes, which are, again, rapid fire. Everything is moving in this movie.
How did they have the budget for this music? Was it just different back then?
It was different back then.
Okay.
That's like, I think in the late 90s, early 2000s, that's when things, because
like royalties started changing.
Yeah, even with Dazed and Confused, they still, that's why they had so many hit songs, because it wasn't the way it is now. And so they have to make a radio station request before 2 a.m. because that is the time that Tubby's closes the doors for the last time.
Yeah, and then also at this time, because it's very much like this, the girls, for some reason, pull over in a dark park to get completely naked and change.
But also, why is this group of the Knights, why are they just hanging out
Why are they in a tree? Yeah, like
They're
why?
In a tree, and then all of a sudden the girls pull up underneath them and start getting naked for I don't know why. Were they getting in Halloween costumes?
Yeah, but like one of them is driving. Why don't the other two change in the car?
I don't know, but this is what kills me is like these guys are up in the tree, right? They're just chilling in a tree for some reason. These girls come up, get out, and start pep rally clothes. Thank you.
Pep rally clothes. Thank you, G.
Get under this specific tree.
yeah.
Thank you, G. But they get naked, and these guys are like, "Whoa, boobs! We're in a tree."
One of them starts to slip. Otherwise, they wouldn't have noticed. Two fucking breathing.
And for some reason, Officer Bimbo pulls up with his partner
to this tree.
This is the very specific tree. And the girls like drive off like, "Oh, you pervert!" Blah blah blah. And
I love his nut. You squirrels better have some nuts in your mouth or you're going downtown.
Before he even says that, like the line, because that's only half of the line. He says, "I want to tell you butthole something. This shit is way out of line. You squirrels better have nuts in your mouth or you're going downtown." What does that mean?
It is so absurd. The whole thing was just so absurd.
And after this, we finally meet
Michelle Pfeiffer's character.
Our two most famous people in the film. Michelle Pfeiffer playing the character Susie Q.
And Charles in Charge.
No. What are you talking about, Charles in Charge? You are wrong. We are talking Tony Danza, who's the boss, Taxi.
They're all the same to me.
They're not the same. Scott Bakio, is that a name?
Scott Bakio. I get those. I think those two are the same fucking person.
Not even close. Tony Danza. I think they are. All day long. All day long.
Scott Baio. Yeah, I think they're the same person.
Thank you.
I think
that other show, Time show.
Bakula, Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
Love that show. I used to like bartend kids' birthday parties and serve Shirley Temples and Sprites with lime as Wonder Woman. And Scott Baio was at one of them. And I was like, I don't really know which one it is. But what I was thinking of, I was sitting there like, I'm going to say the wrong one because I don't know the difference between those two actors.
And I love that we immediately, like, this to me is the one, other than the cruising and the music, this is the one thing that was kind of a rip in its own way of American Graffiti, which is you have that school's ending vibe and you're going to college and I'm doing this. Although Susie...
She wants to be an actor.
She wants to be an actor, and she's got a screen test for some vague, unknown thing.
Yeah.
But I love, it's not mentioned now, but she gets off work at 2 a.m. Her screen test is at 7 a.m.
Yeah, and she still hangs out.
What are you doing?
And he's like the least supportive of her dreams. Yeah, and Genevieve said, "Welcome to Hollywood." We don't
But
fucking care.
that's the way to book it. You know what?
Yeah.
This character needs to have bags under her eyes. I'm gonna stay up
Yeah.
all night.
Yeah, but I mean, she's so ethereal and she's so freaking beautiful. And she's like, I want to rehydrate. He said, well, that's a pipe dream, basically. Like, oh,
But-
thank you.
I mean, later in the film, he admits his real insecurities about the film, or about
Which is
the
so a man
situation.
thing to do. Like,
Completely.
oh, you have these dreams and I was trying to squash them because they make me feel little. Like you're going to leave me when it works out for you. It's like, just be fucking supportive. So when she leaves you, she'll say nice things about you. Yeah.
If she gets the screen thing, she will leave him.
Yeah, bye. You're in an automotive club and I'm a star.
I do like that he's like, what do you think I like to hear all these jerks making wisecracks about my old lady? And her response is like,
I'm the one that has to do it.
Like he's just making it about himself. She's the one getting groped and like come on to. Ew. No, I meant guys coming on to her. No, hold on. That's not what I meant. God. My parents are so disappointed in me. Oh, God. She's the one being groped, basically. And he's like, I don't like that.
Already he's supporting the fact that I thought he was Scott Baio for a second. They're all the same.
They're all the same. Now I think we meet one of our last people that we need to meet, which makes some of the screen time uncomfortable. We meet Dudley. Dudley.
No, Dudley. I was thinking of the skateboarding kid.
I was never uncomfortable with a kid smoking cigarettes. I don't know. Maybe I grew up around it.
They're from my mom. I was like, oh my God, that's me. I used to have cigarettes, but mine really were for my mom. But then we meet Dudley, which, this is sad because he's clearly special needs.
But the thing is like, this is what's uncomfortable because it does feel like, this is obviously a special needs situation, or at least that's what it's being played at.
Yeah.
And it's being played for laughs.
Yeah.
And it's just very uncomfortable because I don't really know if it was intended to be like, this is a special needs character. I think it was, this is like a dork or like a
dork,
super like dork. I think that's what it was supposed to be, but that's not how it comes off. And it comes off a little, ooh.
He's having a panic attack and can't breathe.
Yeah.
And you're putting a sheet over his head and taking his inhaler away.
We kind of learned that Dudley's on his way to get some sort of reward.
Yeah.
From school, like some achievement award. And so he goes to the assembly where we finally meet Jacqueline's husband, who immediately gets mooned by a member in the audience. There's another butt. There's more. I think there's minimum 8 butts in this movie. I counted as many as I could remember.
So, and I wrote down, I'm confused at why evil Mary Tyler Moore runs the pep rally.
But also, I want to talk about this butt.
Okay.
This was like the 4th or 5th take of him doing his butt because
it's
dropped
red.
his pants. It is so red.
So red.
He starts slapping it, and I'm like, how many takes did they make this poor guy just drop trow and slap his own butt? Because it's immediately just like, oh my God, that's red.
Or they had to show him how hard he needs to hit it.
How many people slap this guy's butt?
We wanted to make this sound. Oh, and I love on the wall. It's like beat the fucking or beat the, like they're cursing, and he's so upset that it's cursing. He says, "This goddamn blah, blah, blah," and then he goes into a cussing fit at the mic, and I'm like, yeah. So it's like what you said is worse.
Yeah. Then the next note I have is old horny strikes again.
Yes. Oh my God, they're disgusting, and they're fucking in a car where at the place where her husband is speaking.
And who shows up to talk to Jacqueline? I don't know if she has any other like Miss.
It's
Blank
Miss
name.
something. I forget what he calls her though.
But Dudley shows up and just starts talking to her while Nevins is downtown in Ladytown.
And he was eating her pussy, and she starts talking to this mentally challenged boy. And he's like, oh, I've got a juggle. And he has these balls, and the balls fall in there. And he's wanting to get his balls back. And the guy eating her pussy, like, holds his man hand up to hand him the ball back. And he's like, oh, thank you. Oh, look at these pants. And then he gets his pants. Well, it's a good thing I grabbed these. They have a wallet in it. She's like, please just put the pants down and go away. And it's obvious that she's probably usually the person who's nurturing with Dudley because he's so comfortable around her.
Right.
It's like on this moment where he's very nervous, he sees his comfort person and she's like basically screaming in his face to go away because she's trying to get her pussy
out. The vulgarity out of your mouth, sweetheart.
Sorry. There you go.
I never.
You never. Let's remember who writes the opening Not So Current Events.
Oh, man. This movie, I swear every next sentence is a completely different thought.
Yeah.
Because it's so just fire. Going crazy. Yeah. Go. You had a thought. This is how I know you have a thought.
Yeah, because I was thinking about New Bomb putting on the bad wolf costume and trying to talk to that one woman. She's like, fuck off, New Bomb. And he's like so shocked that she knew who he was.
How did she know? I don't know. Maybe because you're the only asshole.
You're the pervert taking pictures of ladies, harassing people. Like, you're the town
He goes pervert. To his guys and he's like, you guys ruined my joke.
Yeah. Yeah. And we played Wooly Bully, which I was like, fuck. Another banger.
They're constant bangers. The guys kind of like get Dudley, right? They pull Dudley to the side, more or less kidnap him for 15 minutes.
Yeah. And then I have a question. Is this before or after New Bomb records those women in the bathroom talking shit?
I think this is before.
Okay.
I mean, here's the deal. I didn't write that down. I remember it, but there's just so many things.
Yeah.
Rapid
because
fire.
I was just sitting there thinking.
It's before. She's got the timeline.
Oh, before. Yeah, because I want to have a comment about that because, like, that is so fucked up to record girls speaking privately in a fucking bathroom and then play it for everyone in the school. Like, of all the shitty things that New Bomb did, I think that is probably the most traumatizing thing you can do to a woman.
So you're saying I need to stop?
Yeah, stop recording me in the bathroom.
Hey, look.
There's a part of me that knows that was a joke, and there's a part of me that literally panics for a moment. Like, could he do that from LA?
But here's the thing. I know so many terrible things that you've told me that I go, yeah. I mean, that would just be another one on your here's another terrible thing I know about.
Yeah.
List.
But you don't record me when I'm able to, who needs a camera? Jenny's a poet. Oh my God. It's like I pick and choose who I'm comfortable with hearing me as disgusting as I can get.
Which is why you and I are doing this, and then you're going to send it out to the world and be like, oh, this is me being the worst with someone that I'm way too comfortable with. And I'm in my head going, oh man, my parents are going to hate this.
We just won't send it to them.
Constant fear in the back of my head. It's always like, oh, they're going to find out that I'm awful.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, this is one of your friends? Cancel. Well, yeah.
You can choose a little more wisely. I'm 40.
I'm not starting over at this point, though. You know what I mean? Like, every time I try to make friends with an adult person, I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, G's confused that my parents would watch my stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like, my mom would never.
I wish they wouldn't.
My mom would never. Like,
terrified. It's just
she skips my posts. Like, if I post,
Jenny's being that crazy psycho that I brought up again.
Yeah, it's like I learned it from you, babe. I just have like a thing where I was joking with my sister, and I remember when I was in like second or third grade, they were like, Karen Wenger always hangs out at the payphone. She's got a home phone. I wonder what kind of dealings she's got. And I'm like, I wonder what kind of dealings she had.
Hey, why didn't she cut me in?
As a kid, I'm just like, oh, they're crazy. Mom, we're just going to the grocery store. And now I'm like, wait a second. Why were we at the payphone all the time? My mom was like a secret whiskey smuggler or something. Like, I went in on this story.
You grew up in the late 20s? What the? A secret whiskey smuggler?
Whiskey was illegal for a long fucking time, dude. Like, it was illegal to make whiskey in Tennessee until like the 2000s.
What?
Yeah.
See, this is coming from somebody who grew up in Nevada, so I don't understand anything. Moving to California was like jarring. Just like, wait a minute, things aren't just open. I can't just go to a casino and like get anything I want at any point. Like, I don't understand.
No. The rest of us weren't like that. Like, we had to go up into the mountains to a man named Scorpion.
What do you mean they stopped serving alcohol? What? I don't understand this concept.
No, yeah, you grew up in a different world. So did I, though. Like, Genevieve grew up kind of East Coast-ish. She was in Maryland. So, like, she kind of got a little bit more of, like, the norm, I would think.
I don't know what normal is.
Yeah, I don't either. That's what I said, I think. But, like, in the Tennessee mountains, we had dry counties. And Maryland has drive-through liquor stores everywhere.
Liquor stores.
See,
I didn't have that.
Didn't have it. Didn't have it. We were a dry county, honey. If you wanted to even go and sit and have a beer at a restaurant, you had to travel 40 minutes in to.
That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Anyways, back to
what we're doing.
The award that Dudley is supposed to have. And New Bomb comes up. Of course, it's New Bomb because New Bomb is everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
The music starts, and he's like singing a song that he farts to.
Oh my God. I can't believe I would skip this. Oh my God. This is my favorite.
How impressive it is to fart on command
that many times.
They were long and they were very specific.
And G said, not to mention that is his second fart song in the film.
They mentioned it earlier. I don't know if he actually did it earlier. They did mention it. But
so this is something he can just do.
He can fart on command, which, girl, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it was so good.
Sure, the farts sounded a little off. They didn't sound sincere. Those sound a little insincere.
Yeah, I just had to pause it for a second to continue laughing at this because that is a gift my mother gave me because she could do that kind of stuff. My mom could fart on command. Like, she was a genius at farting. And that's the only lady I've ever known who can do that.
Something that happens right after this, like an old guy comes running out of the thing and he finds Officer Bimbo and he's like, you gotta help. There's a guy farting all over the stage. You gotta help. What do we do? He's farting everywhere.
I have an audition later, like in a week, and I'm probably just going to do that as a monologue.
You might as well. I have like the smallest note of like, oh yeah, New Bomb's brother's El Camino gets towed. It's such a throwaway part. I mean, it does come back later that his because he's scared of his brother, but it doesn't really mean anything. But that's the thing that I love about these movies, which is I'm so irritated at all the critics who like crap on it. It's like, this is a hangout movie. It's a cruising hangout movie, and it's just setup after setup. And I don't want that much plot in a hangout movie. I want good tunes. I want people being stupid and just hanging out. That's freaking enjoyable to me.
Yeah, like me too. I love it.
It's so, I don't know. Like, I'm fine with the things that come in and they pop out. You know what I mean? I'm happy with those things.
Yeah. Now, here's a sensitive subject of something that happens next. So the naked boys are in this bush, right?
Super sensitive. It's revisiting the pledges, yeah.
Yeah. And they're, without their clothes, they're trying to figure out what to do.
Hold on. They're hiding in bushes behind a window of people doing it.
Yeah.
Legs in the air and just like, oh yeah. And so they're trying to grab whatever kind of bed sheets they can find off of their hanging clotheslines.
Yeah.
So
then these white boys outside this black neighborhood in Watts, California, put on sheets and they're looking into black people's houses. So of course these black people come out thinking that they're being attacked by the KKK.
Of course.
I mean, what the fuck else would you think? And chase them.
It honestly caught me off guard because I just wasn't thinking of it. Like I did, like when he came up, I was like, oh, he looks like he might be in the Klan. And then they popped up and I was like, it didn't even come across my head. Gross. It didn't even pop into my head that anything like that until like seconds before it happened. And then I was like, oh, it's just people doing it.
But it goes to show you, like, back then how, like, casual they made KKK jokes. Like, that was kind of disturbing. That was like a little disturbing pepper.
Like, the surfer's got two women in his car, and all he does, he just pops his head on, and he might as well have his tongue out.
Yeah.
Staring at boobies. He's just like, what'd you say?
But this is what I love is, like, he has this interaction with the Booby sisters and Surfer Guy. And and then he does something completely heinous to the cop. And he's able to, first of all, they wait until they get their fucking food, obviously. Yeah, he threw it was like a pie kind of thing. Throws it at the cop, and the cop somehow doesn't get out and arrest him or kick his ass or do anything, to the point where they wait for their food because they get their shakes and everything, and then New Bomb starts driving and drives their car away. Why does everybody just let this guy do whatever the fuck he wants?
Because he's just New Bomb, babe.
Oh,
I love, like, just after this scene is when I really discovered, like, oh, New Bomb is he's magical. He's everywhere at every moment, because right with those twins, they're driving and he cops a little feel on her.
He tries to finger her. Just say it. He's trying to finger her.
That won't go that far. He grabs her thigh. Too much. I'll admit, too much.
When a guy puts his hand on your thighs and starts sliding up, he's trying to finger you.
But anyways, her reaction is immediately like, New Bomb, milkshake on his head. And now, can we please discuss film milkshakes? We gotta fix this somehow. They're just liquid.
Yeah,
milkshakes are not just unfrozen ice cream.
Yeah.
We gotta fix this. Let's get a little...
Come on.
Hollywood...
Thickness.
Get it a little thicker. You know what I mean? We need to shake a little thicker. You get it? I like them thick.
I get what you like. What's your personal preference?
I don't know if you get it, Jenny. I like them real thick. Anyway,
they're easier to deal with if they're not really thick.
I get it, but like we've seen enough of the you're not enjoying that milkshake. Of course she dumped it out. She wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah. And then Danza's in a street race.
Yes, Duke. Tony Danza's Duke.
With somebody we've never seen.
No, and we only see them driving their car.
Drag racing.
Referred to as the Japanese. That's how they're referred to. I don't know if you got that. Hey, it's the Japanese. They just drove, and everybody loses to them. They win every drag race.
Yeah. They have the superior car.
They do. I mean, they do.
Yeah. He gets smoked, and then he pulls over. New Bomb takes the car with the hotties and tries to finger them. She pours a shake on him. What the fuck?
But this is where it really hit me. It was like, oh yeah, New Bomb's in every scene, because the next scene, New Bomb no longer has milkshake on him. His hair is clean. He's in a completely different outfit, and they
intercept the punch.
They intercept punch from the caterers at the school dance.
Yes, the caterers believed him that he was in charge because he looks like he's 50 years old. They're like, oh, okay. You send any other 17-year-old kid over, like, oh, I need to get that punch in here. And they're like, no, kid, like, get somebody who's in charge.
Get out of here. They do the piss in the punch, which is a very common prank. Okay, we get it. Everybody's pissing in the punch. But they do it in a circle. It's not one at a time. They do it in a circle. So they're like...
Dicks out, boys.
They're looking at each other in their eyes, all with wieners out.
Yeah.
It's not like standing next to each other. It's very intimate.
It is very intimate.
The smoking kid says, don't drink the punch. He picks and chooses who to tell him not to drink the punch to. And Jenny, if you're okay with this, I would like to do an on-set speculation. So what I think they ran out of time, or maybe they just didn't have the film because film was expensive back then. Because they could have spent so much more time improvising on this scene, because there are some great lines right here when it's the teachers drinking the...
I've had this taste in my mouth before.
I've had this taste in my... I know this taste. Yeah. And Bimbo has the great line, it does have a little wang in it.
Yes, I love that he said that. That's another one where I had to pause it to laugh.
But like, I feel like with that many people around, if it was filmed today, because film doesn't cost hardly anything if you're shooting digital, obviously you need to make your days. But I feel like they would have taken an extra 20 minutes on this scene.
Lots of improvising.
Just like, let's do it, guys. Because there were... Nowadays, they would have thrown everything at it. They would have been like, I don't know, it tastes like a regular cocktail to me. It just tastes a little wee off.
Oh my God, it's your dream scene.
It's my dream scene. You're just like, I can't put my finger on it. I'm normally a real whiz at this stuff. Those caterers really put the P in punch, am I right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, have you tried the punch yet? Oh, you're in for a real treat.
It's golden.
It's golden. Why does it feel like I just licked a pregnancy test? That's what...
Oh, yeah. That one's a little obscure.
Is it too much?
Canceled.
Well, thank you for obliging me.
Of course.
This punch, is it asparagus?
Which is the weirdest pea. Like, why does asparagus do that? Surely one of the 6 guys who pulled their dick out to pee in this had asparagus.
Certainly.
So are we at the part where Dudley almost dies after looking at a pair of tits?
That's, according to my notes, yes. Panic attack.
Yeah, and he can't breathe, and they're like just gonna put him in the trunk of a car.
They like blindfold him, and he's like, "New Bomb, is that you?" And he's totally fine. He's just like, "You showed me boobies? I'm happy. I'm a happy
That's
boy.
Fine. That's fine.
Happy
I
boy.
like the boobies."
But they have like a real fun little... Maybe it's offensive? I don't know anymore.
I don't know.
They do the one-armed violinist bit.
Yeah, where they have like a fake penis.
Yeah, but like he does the bow, and she's got it attached, and he's just doing that. It made me laugh, and then he bows and he puts the bow in his fly and uses his finger like a grabby wiener.
Grabby
dong. Grab a dong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and the 2 snotty girls from the bathroom thing. This is where he plays the tape of them, and they're like, "Oh man!" Everybody's looking at them, but people don't seem particularly pissed, but they do seem embarrassed. People are probably like, "Well, what they're fucking saying is true."
Yeah. See, is that where that happens? Yeah, I don't know. Then again, this is just rapid fire, so things definitely got lost on my own placement.
So right now, after this, I know, because I was dying to talk about this. the fucking idiots are fucking again. The horny olds.
Horny back at it. That's my note.
But Dudley doesn't have his glasses. And they're out like rolling around on a fucking trampoline.
Because the car, that wasn't the big Buick that they were trying to do it in. Of course, poor Nevins, he just can't get it in.
But he's like trying to do her from behind, like pushing her over to the trampoline, and then they're rolling around on a trampoline. Like, why is there a trampoline just randomly here in the parking lot?
It's one of those parking lots with the built-in trampolines.
And Dudley interrupts again. And look, we're all in our underwear. Oh, hello. And he's like noticing everybody who's there. Poor Dudley.
Now we have this like real quick scene with just a random knight who we don't even know his name. He's hooking up with a girl and he's like, no, this is how we do it because you can't get pregnant this way. And but she's basically
a hand job.
Just that, and he's like, "No, this is the way I want it because you can't get pregnant." It was like immediately when he says that line, your head goes like, "Huh? Are we going here?"
His name in credits is Blanche.
She's doing a little thing. Oh, sorry.
She's doing a little thing.
She's doing a little thing, and then it gets caught in the zipper, and we have just a moment of, "Oh God."
And he's laying down, and he says it'll go down. That to me, I was just sitting there like, what is happening right now?
Well, that's what happened.
There you go. Sounds like you know that from personal experience. Have you ever got it caught in a zipper?
No, you have to be real stupid. Like, real stupid. And then now we have Fran Drescher's character dumping her pipe-smoking professor boyfriend. It's hard to tell with these ages. It's like this guy was a professor.
Yeah.
She dumps him for Newbaum because she loves a good wiener joke. I don't.
Yeah, I didn't really buy that pairing.
This is the guy who took pictures of your friends topless 4 hours ago?
Yeah, the pervert in your backyard trespassing.
And she's like, I'm throwing a party at my house. Do you want to take me to your party? At your house?
Yeah, and then they get there and they just make out in the car.
Yeah. I love how in the hookup, he prematures it.
Yeah, he does.
And he just goes, "Oh, well." He could care less. He's like, I don't care that you're disappointed. I don't care that you were expecting anything from me.
He's glad he already came, okay?
He's glad. You know why? Because he doesn't have to waste any more time doing this, and he can go think up another prank. The reviews that I read, that people were like, unless you find premature ejaculation funny, this movie sucks.
Well, I loved it. I'm glad I came.
Now we finally start getting a little bit more with Duke, a.k.a. Tony Danza, and Jimmy. So Jimmy's like this older guy who he's shipping off to Vietnam very shortly. And he's got a gal. Was she pregnant? It sounded like she was pregnant.
I don't know. I could...
It
was such a sad storyline. It's like, I'm going to Vietnam. And I was, well, it's not that bad over there.
Oh, they had a scare. And so this is why Duke isn't really out being a part of the chaos, is because he wants to be there for Jimmy. And he's hanging out with him, trying to give him one good last night at the automotive club. And they're just hanging out, fixing up their cars. And we get all that information. And I want to say Jimmy is played by Gary Graham, who sadly passed away in January. Aww. But he plays, if you don't know who he is, he played Achilles in Robot Jocks. And if you haven't seen Robot Jocks, I don't know what to tell you. I have a long history with that film. So the first time he was on screen, I was like, I know him. Why do I know him? Oh, God. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Oh, yes, I know he was in Star Trek, G, but that's not what matters. Robot Chucks is what matters.
He's going to blow up his microphone screaming about robot jocks.
Hey, it's Stuart Gordon, okay?
But yeah, it's just really stinking heavy, and he's really scared, and he's basically like doing his will and testament.
Yeah.
And they're telling him, well, there's not a lot of bad things happening over there. It's not like the last one. And everybody's sitting like us as an audience are sitting here knowing like Vietnam got pretty gnarly. Not sure where you're getting your news, buddy. It's just not going to go well.
So I think after all of this heavy stuff, and of course Susie Q's always cutting back to Susie occasionally with Michelle Pfeiffer, and she's just like, Duke's probably enjoying himself at the dance, and that's like all her character is.
Yeah, and she even like talks about like she was going to give up on her dreams if he needed her to. It's just like, girl, don't be the stereotype.
Here's the thing. That's what, like, when you're that age, man, everything is huge.
All about who you're dating. Yeah.
Well, it's every emotion is so big. And then you get in your late 20s, early 30s, and you go, oh, wow, nothing matters.
It's the best shift.
It's the best. It's like
everything matters to nothing matters.
Exactly. So we get to the pledges, and they finally make it to the radio station, and they smoke out with all the doo-woppers who have just been hanging on the streets singing songs to us, and we enjoy.
Yeah.
They ask him to do him a favor, to make the request, and then we're back at Tubby's.
Yeah.
Where the gang knows the exact time Officer Bimbo goes to the bathroom.
Yep. And then I said hot orange girl is walking with Captain Blue Balls, but now I know it's Captain My Nuts Are Zipped into My Pants. So that explains his walk more.
I'm glad I could clear a few things up.
So then the cops are sitting there, and their captain guy is on the radio telling them a list of everything that the Knights have done this night under their watch. First of all, shout out to G, because one of the cops is drinking milk, and as the other guy's getting out, he's like, Joe, you're going to spill my milk.
Spill my milk. Which, that's the first thing I order at a drive-thru, at a fast food joint. I'm like, can I get fries, triple burger, and milk?
And a milk, please.
It's a milk.
One lukewarm milk, please.
Who orders the milk? Oddly has this weird obsession with having a mustache.
Yes.
Do you think and he like draws it on
with a Sharpie while the other guy's in the bathroom, and while he's drawing a Sharpie on New Bomb, pulls his nastiest trick yet.
Oh, nastiest. He has it organized with all his cronies doing things, clogging the toilet because he knows what time he pees. And
gross. And he breaks the doorknob so he can't get out, sets up a trash can with disgusting garbage right there.
And
chaos.
Chaos for poor Bimbo.
Who then is rolling around in his shit in this bathroom, climbing on urinals, trying to get out. He needs the help of his friend who spilled his milk and drawn on his mustache.
Did this give you anxiety?
Big time. It was one of those moments for me.
Where his friend just like pulls out the gun. He's like, I'm going to shoot the doorknob off. And he's shooting through the door.
Oh my God. Just like blasting it. And then they both roll in that trash together like a couple of fucking pigs. And I'm just thinking about I'm like, your uniform is a mess.
But like, those are the best days on set.
No. I was in a movie where I had to pretend to vomit and everybody around me was vomiting. And then I came back to life possessed after we had all vomited together. So I'm like in everyone's vomit, getting up as a demon. And I'm just like, we need to get that again. And I'm like, do we need to do that
I
again?
love it. That stuff makes me so happy. That's what making movies is about to me.
Yeah, we have different preferences.
And then we got like, so after this happens, they get out and Bimbo's just, first of all, why is his name Bimbo? He's mad, so he drives off all fast, trying to get away because he's had enough of these Hollywood nights.
They plugged his exhaust.
They plugged his exhaust.
It makes the boom, and then he gets into a car accident.
But before he gets into the car accident, we kind of see who's in that car. And who's in the car?
Hornies.
Jacqueline and Nevin are trying one last round. It's Willy Wonka in that chocolate factory. That's what I wrote down. And it's outside of her house where her husband is sleeping.
Horrible.
And then there's this whole like, oh, they hit us so hard our pants fell off.
Yeah.
But her husband is so stupid. He's like, okay. It doesn't make sense. And you know what? I don't care.
And you know what we forgot to mention? Dudley calls his mom from a payphone.
Yeah, well,
and tells her, I'm fucking tonight.
I'm getting laid. She passes out and he's like, no, I just need to figure out how to do it.
Poor Dudley. He's just trying to live.
Before the movie ends, we have like 2 more butts. I'm telling you, butts galore. If you like looking at butts, male butts, girl butts, there's a butt for you.
This is your film.
This is your film.
Oh, yeah, and that conversation is had, by the way, that we already discussed, so we didn't. But Michelle Pfeiffer and him and Duke had the conversation about he just was afraid she would dump him if she did well. So now it's all well within.
Yeah.
Happy ending.
We could get a studio apartment in Venice Beach. So, Jenny, do you have a movie MVP?
You know, like out of pity, I want to say Dudley. But I would say my movie MVP is probably Horny Old Guy.
Nemens.
Yeah, I enjoyed that element of the story, and I thought as soon as I saw that lady, I'm like, somebody needs to fuck her, and he really tried his best.
He tried so hard.
And him rolling on the trampoline, like, it just brought a lot of joy to me, like, from being just a random piano guy and, like, becoming such a pivotal part of the story throughout. Yeah, and even he was in that final cut of the movie. Oh, our pants fell off. So I liked him. The soundtrack is MVP for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would go with Floyd Mutrux because the director. I have never seen a Hangout movie with this much energy and like frantic energy, and I really enjoyed it. And because I love Hangout movies so much and cruising films. Like, I'd never seen it in, as Leonard Maltin put it, the punk rock version of it, because it is fast. It is just one after another.
There's no way we talked about everything.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter how gross. We're going to go there. We're going to be the punks, even though we're going to put it into this mid-60s viewfinder or whatever. And I just, I thought that he was very successful. I don't care what any of those goddamn critics said about him being a copy, because there was, other than being in a 60s cruise movie, it had nothing to do with American Graffiti to me.
For me, it was like just that ultimate picture of not politically correct.
Right.
Literally just slice of life for this time, for that specific genre of people.
Right. Yeah, I thought he pulled it off in a great way. So sorry, Floyd, for taking 14 more years for you to make another film and then never doing one again. But I liked this one.
Yeah, this one's good.
And that'll bring us to Remake, Reboot, Reimagine, Remaster, or sequel. Any thoughts?
This one's a tough one for me because it's good the way it is.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with Remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. If you like old school Porky's Animal House type films, I would give it a shot. I liked the feel. And this came out a year before Porky's did, actually.
Wow.
And I don't know.
If you're just a boob enthusiast like me,
or
like,
butts,
it's good.
Because there's good butts, especially hairy red butts.
Hairy red butts. Yeah, that's your thing. But there were some really nice boobies in it. The Boobie Sisters, the tanning in the beginning,
and the majority of the jokes really aren't brand new. They're not gonna they're all kind of well tread, but also this is almost 45 years old.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind. I just think it was a great fun ride, in that genre. And to me, it was a new take on a cruising hangout flick.
Yeah, and I think everybody in it really nailed their character. I don't think there was anybody who didn't shine in their performance, even all the way down to the guy who's just kind of this pledge guy who got his nuts zipped up in that, walking through the
which you credit a
cruise like that.
Obviously, you credit some of that stuff to the director as well, of being able to handle his actors.
Yeah.
And, if it's not right, because some of those things are hard to do as an actor.
Yeah. And also give it up for the editor.
Yeah.
It's time for that nostalgia of the week. Time for our nostalgia of the week. Our guest this episode is the nicest, sweetest friend you could ask for, who's also a cold-blooded killer. Please welcome Johnny Switchblade.
Hey, you guys want to talk about nostalgia? Let's talk about nostalgia, right? This movie gave it to me, right? I miss the good old-fashioned car hops. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm nostalgic for. The boobed ladies on roller skates, right? Where they really did give you fries with that shake, huh? Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The car hop was hopping, right? It was the type of place you could drive up with a dead body in your trunk and not have to worry about it, right? You didn't have to worry. You just grab a cheeseburger and a Coke so you're not overly famished when you're out digging an impromptu grave in the middle of the woods. But, you do want to be careful, though, because you don't want to eat too much, right? You might get a bellyache, a little tummy cramp. You gotta take care of your body. Take care. Your body's a vessel, right? You want it to feel good, okay? The better you feel, the easier it is to shine a bright light in this world. Yeah. And the car hop. I mean, that was where guys could be guys, Remember when we could do that? When we could be guys? Yeah, you get in a fist fight with your best buddy and then go split seeds on a strawberry milkshake. But with 2 straws because we ain't a couple of, But, you got to respect those people too. You got to love and respect everybody. I was talking to my buddy Ricky the other day. He was helping me cut a guy's face off, and we couldn't find the guy's ear. And that's when he mentioned that he broke up with his best girl, Barbara. Okay, she said he wasn't listening to her. That's what it was. And that right there, that's about respect. It's about respect. I mean, when I put a guy in the ground, right? I don't piss on his grave. Some people do. Some people do. I don't spit on their mommies, I don't curse their families, Really what it comes down to is you got to respect people, like we used to. You got to respect them. All right. Now back to you dick bags.
Blink, blink.
Blink, blink, indeed.
What a fantastic experience this has been, chatting about this.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
And thank you for picking this one. This was we have a list that we kind I keep adding to, and this was
Yeah.
not one that I would have personally. It was just I put it on the list, and when you picked it, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it was like, this is my favorite one we've watched so far. I I really enjoyed it.
Me too. I loved it so much.
Maybe I should pick less.
You got good instincts if you leave them in a fucking trunk somewhere and let me drive.
That's what I do best. Leave them in the trunk. That's how I got 4 dead bodies.
All right.
All right. Thank you for joining us on B-Side Video Rentals. I'm Jeremy Briggs.
And I'm Jenny Wenger.
Have a good one. Oh. Ooh.